Hi John, how are you doing? Are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
Kenton Electronics, makers of lots of fine and useful MIDI gadgets and widgets and whatnot. What's new with you?
So the only new thing we've got at the moment, this is not actually quite out, but it will be out very, very shortly once we've sorted out a couple of things with the screen printing. It's the line driver. It's basically the same line driver as before, a couple of additional features because you've got added when you get a MIDI signal going into it, you've got one LED that tells you what's coming in and one what tells you coming out, so that you've got a monitor of the actual signal.
So these are essentially line extenders that use Cat5 to run extra MIDI signals,
That's exactly right, yes. They use a standard Cat5e cable and can send MIDI up to 500 meters.
So really useful for staging. I mean, this is the original, which is just Ethernet. So these are Ethercons, which are the, they have that kind of, have a look at that.
Much more robust connector.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had a number of requests for that. So it just enables you to connect more reliably.
So, I mean, these I imagine are being used in scenarios where, I mean, like big stadium gigs where you've got the brains of the MIDI rig under the stage or around the back or whatever, and the keyboard player at the front. That's what this sort of scenario is going to be used for. Where else are you being used?
Well, all kinds of recording studios and things, particularly where people are in different studios. Yeah. There's a link between one studio and another or something. We use them in broadcast. So anywhere where you... we've even got one company use them in flight simulators or something or other. I'm not quite sure.
And are they limited to MIDI, or will they do OSC? Will they do, is there a bandwidth limitation on what can go in and out of them, or have you?
Well, it's the standard MIDI on DIN, so whatever the bandwidth of that is, which is 31.25 kilobits per second.
So do you still have to put the opto isolation in and all of that stuff?
Well, this has got the opto isolation in it. Yes, it's got all of that.
Standard. So what? I mean, you buy them in pairs, presumably, or can you split them and work them with routers because of the Ethernet, or is it just point to point?
Well, it won't connect to an Ethernet router. It uses a standard Cat5 cable, but it's not compatible with Ethernet.
So it's point to point, right?
So it is point to point, yeah.
Interesting. So, I mean, but the Cat5, I mean, you run a half a kilometre of Cat5, that's probably the cheapest way to do it, right?
It is, yeah.
No latency or anything like that with this?
No, there's no appreciable latency.
And what, these have been available for a while.
Yeah.
What's the price on these guys?
I'd have to look that up
I've now
for you.
put them on the spot. Get the price list out, that's right.
The price list of the standard LNDR is 127.92, including VAT.
Is that per pair or for?
That's for a pair, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And these will be a little bit more expensive. I haven't quite got a price for these yet. I'm guessing at around 150 or something.
And do they? Yeah, they take power, so they don't get power over MIDI or over Ethernet or anything.
Well, yeah, one end is powered. The other end is powered over the Ethernet cable.
Ah, okay, got you. So that makes it a lot easier to. So you could run that out to front of house or out to the middle of the stage, and you just have the one box. And
yeah.
Excellent.
You don't need to find power for it again.
Thanks very much, John.
Okay, thank you very much.